Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let me see. Hello to Yvette Black. Thank you so much for being here first. Annie Bullard, Sharon Chung, Empress Energy for Life. Okay, somebody's got to do it. Veronica Quick, Connie Balmer, Janice Goodrich, uh, Brenda Gray, Deborah Anderson. Let's see, Monica Waters, Compton Caligal. Let's see, who else is here? Joyce Anderson. All right, very good. All right. Anyway, let's get started then, because I got a bunch of stuff, I believe. Okay, so saving the monarchy. Those two are getting desperate. Do you hear me? Desperate. They were out doing some work today. You know, I'm going to have to say, I'm very impressed with them because usually after the new year, you don't see them for a long time. But there's been too many bad polls coming out lately where people have said their favorability for the institution is in the toilet. So um, I admire the fact that they've actually taken action because it takes a lot to jolt them into working. But I don't think it was enough that they had those polls. The other thing is, I believe it was the article by Amanda Platel, Liz Jones, and Ann Wilson. Those three right there, they kind of gave them the reality check that they needed. Why is this important? Because if they are doing something constructive, then they don't have to keep plotting and scheming against the Sussexes because they refuse to get up and go to work. They don't need that type of distraction. Now, of course, they're not doing this because they want to, they're doing this because they have to. This is a matter of survival for the royal family because I tell you, it feels like things are slipping away for them. And that can only go on for so long before people start scratching their heads and saying, do we really need a monarchy? Well, the answer is no, but they're going to pretend like all of the crowds that, and there was actually a pretty decent crowd. I don't believe they turned out for them. I believe that they went to a crowded area where there's a lot of businesses. And of course, people were very curious and they were kind of gawking at them. But not everybody was so impressed. And you'll see what I mean shortly. Um, all right. Let's move on. Hey, Church Nelly. I did this yesterday, right? I didn't really finish it. So I'm going to finish up with this if you guys don't mind, just to get it out the way. And then we'll get to the clownery. Because, usually I don't try to hold stuff for later. Whatever is really important, I like to put that first. But we'll just go over this. Um, it's not really the name of suspense building, but we talked about Emma yesterday, and so I'm just kind of picking up from where I left off because I didn't really quite finish with her. But in case you didn't watch last night, it seems that they're doing this thing where they're trying to throw shade at Meghan for something that she never did say, and unfortunately, they get away with that far too often. But um, A familiar British pastime continues to thrive, attributing statements to Meghan Sussex that was never made, then treating the invention as established fact. The latest example comes from an old clip circulating from Bravo Ladies of London in a segment model. Lottie Moss praises Emma Thine, um, the Marchioness of Bath, as the first Black woman to marry into the British aristocracy. That claim alone would have been harmless enough. Instead, Moss adds that Meghan Sussex tries to claim that, right? That Meghan is trying to claim that she was the first Black woman to marry into the aristocracy. And as some of you all had pointed out last night, that really doesn't make sense because Meghan is not in the aristocracy. Meghan is royalty. And I guess I never really considered whether that was a difference or not. I just know that the royals are above all others. So makes a lot of sense. I mean, that yes, the royals do marry into the aristocracy to keep that blue blood flowing. However, um, the aristocracy, they tend to marry whoever. And nowadays, the royals can marry whoever they want to. It was a time, though, that would have been unheard of to marry a commoner. Not impossible, but mostly unheard of. So, on detail, one detail complicates the narrative. No record exists of Meghan ever making that claim. Search her interviews, public speeches, and documentaries, and that statement does not appear despite absence of evidence. The allegation traveled widely. In the particular world of the royal commentary, accusations often move far faster than corrections. Or, as Mark Twain would say, a lie travels around the world faster than the truth can get his pants on. Remember that old saying? Well, I guess it's the same with this. So the aristocracy and the royalty are not the same thing. Of course, this is Feminagra, so you know it's going to be very detailed. Feminagra says they're not the same thing. The confusion is almost comical if it weren't so predictable. Emma Thine married what is his name? Chitlinbine, something like that. Chitlinbine. Emma Thine married Chitlinbine in 2013, becoming the Marchioness of Bath. When he inherited the title, the Bath family are part of Britain's aristocracy, the centuries-old network of titled families who own estates like Longleat. That's not the royal family. Britain's aristocracy contains hundreds of titles, hundreds of families, earls, marquess, viscounts, and barons, which of course is the lowest ranking member of the aristocracy. They are not wealthy landowners and social elites. Well, some of them are, but they do not belong to the House of Windsor. You know, some of them are land rich and, money poor. But yeah, so they are the wealthy landowners and social elites. Either way, Meghan, meanwhile, married Prince Harry in 2018. Harry is the son of King Charles III, which means Meghan did not marry into the aristocracy. She married into the royal family itself. It is a distinction that should be obvious. Yet, some continue to blur it when Meghan's name becomes useful for another round of critical debate. And let us not forget, it also helps to sell whatever they're trying to, sell. Okay, and the thing was, let's see, watching Ladies of London, and they threw some shade at Meghan Markle. Okay. Okay. Now, the reality of racism inside aristocratic circles. The irony of the argument is difficult to miss. Emma Thine herself has spoken openly about racism inside of Britain's aristocracy. When she married Chitlin Thine, reports emerged of a family feud after his mother allegedly asked whether the marriage would damage 400 years of bloodline. Oy vey. The fallout became so severe that Chitlin reportedly banned his mother from attending their 2013 wedding at Longleat. Security was placed on standby in case she tried to arrive. Emma later acknowledged that prejudice existed within the circles she entered. There's class, and then there's racial thing, she told the Telegraph. That reality complicates the narrative now being pushed online because the aristocracy has never been a particularly welcoming space for women of color. Emma's own experience illustrates that. So take a look there. I don't know how to say this man's name. I'm going to show you. I'll put it there in the chat. You can see. It looked like Chitlin to me. How you say that? See it? It's in the chat. How you say that? Look like Chitlin, right? Chitlin Vine. Chitlin Vine. Emma and Chitlin Vine. That's a weird name, isn't it? I mean, look at that. Look like Chitlin to me. Anyway, you know me, whatever's close enough to it. Okay. It's a Chitlin Fine. You wouldn't understand. Yeah, it's a Chitlin Fine. You wouldn't understand. Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh, okay. So the real story. What remains is nothing is a big fat nothing burger built on a claim that never exists. You know, you guys, how many times have you heard me say that they keep saying that Meghan said that she well that they'll say that Meghan is always critical of someone when it comes to the environment, when it comes to carbon emissions and all that kind of stuff, knowing full well that they cannot point to any situation or occasion where Meghan has criticized people for their carbon emissions, for their use of flying in jets or anything like that. But anyone who they think is left leaning, far too often, the tabloid media makes the claim that certain people have said certain things that they've never said, especially with the environment. If there's a few A-listers, like let's say Leonardo DiCaprio or whoever, any big star, if they find out that they used a private jet, they start screaming that these people are always talking about the environment and they're doing the opposite. They're always criticizing, but they're doing the opposite. I don't know that I've ever heard those people say one way or the other. I just know they're very rich, they're very privileged, and if it was me, I'd have to take that private jet too. I've never been on one, but if I ever have the opportunity, trust me, the last thing I'm going to be thinking about is the rainforest. I'm going to be like, ooh, they got some free cashews. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to be thinking is, are they going to feed us? I'm not going to be thinking about no rainforest. I mean, if the plane is going there anyway, what difference does it make? Okay. So that's always bothers me that they do that, especially to Meghan. They're always saying something that she never said. Instead of correcting the record, the conversation drifted into comparison between two women whose circumstances could hardly be more different. Invoking Meghan in this context did little to clarify the fact and a great deal to generate attention, which it always does. That strategy may explain why the moment traveled so quickly online. Mentioning Meghan guarantees engagement even when the story has little to do with her. Also, you guys, you should know that, and this is not to make an excuse for anybody's behavior, but unfortunately for Harry and Meghan, the timing of their wedding put them right in the middle of a culture war. It put them right in the middle of a culture war. And because they're very high profile people, because of their platforms, it makes them lightning rods like AOC, like um, Michelle Obama, a whole bunch of people that no matter what happens, they'll find some way to associate it with a person that has certain left leaning values. Yet the historical record is clear. Britain's aristocracy has long struggled with questions of class, race, and belonging. Emma Thine own experience with the world reflects those tensions, including the very public dispute surrounding her marriage. Dragging Meghan into that history does not resolve those issues. It simply redirects the spotlight. If anything, the episode shows how quickly a celebrity names are deployed to manufacture conflict where none exists. In this case, the comparison says less about Meghan Sussex and far more about the persistent need to position her as the foil in someone else's story. Thank you, Feminagra. Oh yeah, you missed it. Yesterday was Cookie and Cream's birthday, which where is that at here? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. There we go. Yes. Happy birthday, Cookie and Creams. There you go. Happy birthday, Cookie and Cream. So that's Emma, Marchioness of Bath. And yes, Emma has done a whole bunch of lifestyle stuff. I really like Emma, and I don't attribute any of that finger pointing to her. And I hope I never have to because I like her a lot. And I barely ever watch her, but I know she's very hardworking. And as an American, trust me, I understand what hard work is. I've worked very hard my whole adult life. And so for that reason, us Americans, we're big on hard work. And when you see someone put forth an effort, that's why we don't shade people when they become rich and successful, because Lord knows as Americans, we work very hard. We're one of the most productive societies in the world. Very little vacation, lots of work. So, um, cheers to Emma for the life that she's created for herself and for her family. And I hope that there's never a point where they somehow successfully pit one woman against the other. Although, the tabloid media loves doing that. God, they love to do that. The son of the Marquess of Bath has revealed details of a race row with his mother after she suggested that his marriage to a half Nigerian woman would ruin 400 years of bloodline. The falling out between Viscount Weymouth Chitlin um, and the Marchioness of Bath has further divided one of the country's most eccentric and colorful families. Oh yeah, his father. I remember how I got to know them. His father was living at the house and they were living there and they couldn't really change anything until his father finally, you know, went on to his glory. And his father dated um black women, right? Now I remember how I got to know them. Yeah, his father was a bit cuckoo, but he was fun. Lord Weymouth, the heir to the Longleat, whatever, said that the comments by his mother, Anna, resulted in him banning her from attending his wedding to Emma McQuiston and from seeing the couple's 11-year-old son. They got any more kids or just got the one kid? Anyway, cheers to her for the life that she made for herself and her family. And I hope, like I said, that they don't have that the British media, should I say, doesn't have any success with what they're trying to do. And so this was where it came from. There was something the called the Watching the Ladies of London, and of course I did not see that whatever show this is. I don't know if it's a series or if it was like a documentary or something like that. I don't know if it's supposed to be like the the ladies of what the housewives of South Carolina, whatever they call them shows. The housewives of Baltimore, the housewives of Winston Salem. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff. I don't know what they call those. But I've never watched any of them before. So let me do this.
In the UK, there are royals, then there are the aristocrats, and then there's just other members of London society. They don't have this in America, so the Americans are like, woo! But here, you could be sitting at a pub next to a lady, next to a prince, and it's actually very common. It's like seeing Sarah Jessica Parker in New York City. It happens all the time.
My title is Martha Lady Sitwell. My lady title came from marrying a baronet, which is the lowest on the rung. But it's not a hereditary title. Hereditary titles have been done away with now. So what? Great Granny King Charles, whatever.
My title is the Marchioness of Bath. My husband is the Marquis of Bath.
Emma is the embodiment of the modern aristocrat. She's cool, she's trendy, but at the same time, she holds with great grace the weight of being one of Britain's most important aristocrats.
She's the first black woman to be married into an aristocracy family. And I think Meghan Markle tries to claim that, but it was actually Emma.
Okay, so enough of that. And of course, her grammar, that's the lady in red there. Her grammar is way off. I thought it would, what did she say? To marry into an aristocrat, whatever she said. Her grammar was all messed up. So to hell with her. Anyway, so that continues from yesterday. Coming soon, the Sussexes will be in Australia. Harry has his gig coming up, and Meghan has her gig coming up. And so I will repeat some of the details about that probably again at some point this weekend, but I just mentioned them the other day, so I'm not going to go through the whole list of things, but it is pretty exciting that Meghan is going to have this retreat, a ladies' retreat, where women can do all that empowerment and enrichment and pampering, and there's going to be gorgeous sunsets, a disco night. The accommodations, I believe, are all inclusive, including a gala dinner. So it is going to be pretty special. And there are people that are kind of up in arms because of the price per person. It's up to 2,000 Australian dollars per person. That's up to 200 pounds that you can save per family of four, per, right? Per. Anyway. Now, on to Willie and Kitty. What did you know? What did y'all know about Andrew, the sick old man? Well, so far they're not saying what they knew. Even though there is some email floating around out there that, as far as I can recall, indicates that Charles knew exactly what was going on with his brother. And of course, Willie, who is king in all but name only. Isn't that what Tom Sykes said? Now, see, when it serves Willie's ego, we can pretend like he's king in all but name only. But when it comes to Andrew, then all of a sudden, William don't know anything about anything. No, he ain't got no red box. No, he hasn't been briefed by the British intelligence. He don't know nothing about his uncle. Not a thing. Besides, he's not the king, is he? So that's the little game that they're playing, is that Willie runs the whole show when it suits him. But if there's actually any responsibility or accusations, then he doesn't touch a thing. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I know exactly which one you're talking about. That very unfortunately ill-timed photo of Camilla in the barn speaking to her own cat. Ah, give me a second. That's not hard to find. That is not hard to find at all. That one just kind of jumps out at you. Poor Camilla. I mean, but you cannot look at her without seeing, that. Um I tell you, I should make a video with just the whole stockpile of my Camilla the Queen consort pictures, cuz I do have a bunch of them. Cal Miller. Okay, so I got to scroll way back cuz that one is an oldie but goodie. Talk about things in the universe being in alignment. Sometimes it just all makes sense. Okay. Almost got it. Okay. Well, there's that one, but I know that's not the one that you want. Oh, there's a picture of Camilla looking like Ernest Borgnine. He's dead too. Um, I cannot decide though whether she looks like Ernest dead or alive. That's the thing. Bingo. There we go. And we have contact. Yes, I'm sure that's the one. Woo! I am sure that's the one. Yes. Sometimes you just have to grin and bear it. Oh, talk about perfect timing. If I was her, I would steer clear of anything with four legs. I would just steer clear of it. Lest we should be associated with. Anyway, thank you for that recommendation. Always a pleasure. uh, so royals enable disgraced Andrew to blind eyes and deaf ears, but it won't wash. So um I just cannot believe that the tabloids are finally doing their work. They are finally talking about oh, let me see, Baron, I'm talking about today's thumbnail. Oh, really? Oh, I thought that was it. Oh, and let me see today's thumbnail. I don't think I've used Camilla in a thumbnail in a while. Yeah, I haven't used her in a thumbnail in a while, but I'll try to figure out which one you're talking about later. Um, but yeah, the press is finally doing their job, so I'm glad for it. It's about time. Um, William and Kate were out and about, and I believe they had kind of a long day by Willie and Kate's standards. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I mean. So, Kate's royal cheers. I haven't drunk much since cancer diagnosis, says Princess of Wales, as she pulls pints and rides along with the, what is that, the royal whatever it is, on the Thames. Now, I did see them like on some kind of speedboat. So, Royal Navy, what is the LI? Royal Navy something. But anyway, and then I guess is that like a vat of ale or beer or something like that? They had her up on the ladder, smiling and grinning, right? Um, oh my God. This is desperation, you all. This is the face of desperation. They are trying to save the monarchy. Um, look at Kate trying to pretend like she understands what's going on. They are seriously trying to save the monarchy. And then, of course, let's not forget Kate with the um do you remember when she said, "Can you?" Well, anyway, I'll show you. And then there she is with the jazz hands. You know, she has to do the jazz hands where she's trying to ask the poignant questions as if she knows what the hell's going on. Look at them. This is some of the best acting I've seen from that family in a long time. Yes, we're interested. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then can you taste the smell by smelling it? When I saw her sniffing at that cup right there, or let me see, here's a better one. See there? Can you taste the smell by smelling it? That was that dumb question that she asked when she went to that tea house or whatever it was. Can you taste the smell by smelling it? I'm still trying to sort that out in my head. Can you taste the smell by smelling it? Let's see here. I watched the episode filmed in 2025. Lady in Red told Emma that lie over dinner. Emma got very starky. Or is it snarky? Those shows are scripted and planned. Emma is friends with Emma Greedy and was at Megan's last event. Oh, is she? She's in the photos. So you're saying that Emma Thine was at the event when Megan went to that party, that dinner party that Emma Greedy had. I did not see her there. Very interesting. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. So Emma is friends with Emma Greedy and was at Megan's last event. She's in the photos. Oh, at Megan's last event. Was that the one with the pink and black dress? I did not see her. And it seems like I would have like zeroed in, but I did not see her at all. But okay. Well, like I said, I hope there's no friction. I hope nobody creates any friction because they have some very similar stories, both of them being biracial black women. Um, and both of them hardworking ladies and such. So yeah, I as a matter of fact, I wouldn't mind seeing the two of them together at some point, working on something. That would be great. It'd be a lot of fun. Of course, the there will be some type of something where they will try to pit them against one another, but I'm pretty sure they're both smart ladies and they'll be prepared to handle such a thing. But um, yeah, that would be great. Actually, I would love to see them do something together, a charity function or something of that effect. Let's see. The pic you had up with Megan and Archie with Desmond Tutu. Oh, that had to have been a long time ago. Yeah, that would have had to have been a long time ago because I haven't had anything like that up in a long time. But some of the old thumbnails, they do pop up with some of the newer ones when you go to like the Royal Sussex home screen. So, and I don't like that. I like all of my when I'm trying to look at a person's channel, I like for everything to be in chronological order. And the only way to do that is to hit the live or hit the video or hit the click on the shorts. And that's the only way that you get them all in perfect order. But yeah, I hate when you go to like that home screen because everything is mixed up. Okay. Can you taste the smell by smelling it? I wish I had that video. It's very hard to hear her. It's barely audible is what I should say. But yeah. And I'm pretty sure that when she said that, those guys were like, "What?" You see how the one guy, his eyes closed right there? Like, oh, I can't believe she asked that question. Um, do you guys notice anything about this photo that makes it just perfect? I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll let you tell me, but this is from today. They were pulling shots of beer. Kate was up on the ladder. They were all over the place today. But tell me what screams out in this photo. She even made a latte. She made William a latte today. Yes. Yes. You got it. They put her name on her apron. They actually put her name on her apron. Mumbles Crumble. They put her name on the apron. Mumble Crumble. Did they know she was coming? Did they plan this in advance? They probably named a dessert. Yeah, they probably named a dessert. They said, "We're going to name a dessert for you, Your Highness. It's called Mumble Crumble." we, we named a dessert for you. It's called Mumble Crumble. Now that's perfect. They must have knew she was coming. I hope she washed her hands, though. Please, I hope she washed her hands. uh, all right, Mumbles. And this lady right here, I love her. This is one of the heroes of the day. As a matter of fact, for 2026, I'm going to say she's probably going to go down in history as one of the most brilliant people that you've ever seen. I know. What could she possibly have done? You are going to be so impressed with her that you are probably going to want to build a shrine to her later. But she is honestly one of the best people in the world. I love her. She just don't care. She just does not care. Will and who? 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 Look at her looking around like, oh, they still there, huh? Will and who? I don't know them. Have they been on TV or something? I don't know who those people are. I'm on my lunch break. I can't be bothered. Mm-mm. I'm on my lunch break. Yeah, so what? Will and who? I don't know. All I know is one of them is wearing a wig and the other one ain't got no hair. I don't know who those people are. I love her. I love her in every conceivable way. Little mama say, I'm on my lunch break. I ain't got time. Oh, I love when she takes a peek around like, oh, are they still there? Oh, I don't know what they're selling there, but it must be good. Oh, are they still at the Mumble Crumble? I'm so her. God bless her. Oh man. And then this guy was out today. That is John Laurie, Lonnie. I think it's Lonnie, and he is the super fan. Remember, I told you I met this guy, and I just realized he's still wearing that same hat that he was wearing when I met him. Oh my God! Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to sniff it, but he's 70 years old, and he is a super fan of the Royals. And that's what I told him. I said, "You're the super fan." Yes, I'm a Royal supporter. And that's just how he talks. He sounds like a leprechaun. Yes, I'm a Royal supporter. He sounds like he's from Middle Earth or Narnia or something like that. You see there? Prince William spotted Diana's biggest super fan in the crowd of people lined up to greet the royals at Sandringham yesterday. This is an old story, by the way. But the prince delighted him further by calling out to royal fanatic. Oh my God, that's insulting. Royal fanatic. Oh, he was introduced to Charlotte, Louis, and George. Nice. And you see the flag? I believe that's a younger version of himself on that flag. Now, I have to say, this guy was very, very nice to Meghan when Meghan was introduced that first time when they went to the radio station. He brought flowers and, he talked to her for a minute and everything, and just very welcoming. But he is a monarchist, and nothing stands in between him and the monarchy. So I've never heard him say anything disparaging about the Sussexes, as far as I know. He's just a nice person, and that's something that's very important to his life. I don't necessarily understand it, but it ain't my business. Now, everything wasn't all fun and games today because Will and Kate were heckled a bit. And I do have evidence of that. Let me see. Where is it at here? Is this it? I hope this is it.
How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein?
William, have you been covering for Andrew? William, have you been covering for Andrew? Have you been covering for Andrew, William?
And I don't think that's the same guy that's been at every occasion.
How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein?
William, have you been covering for Andrew? William, have you been covering for Andrew? Have you been covering for Andrew, William?
Don't ruin it for everyone. You hear that? Don't ruin it for everyone. Oh, mate, don't ruin it for everyone. I think that's something. Yes, I do have that picture where that I said hi to him. That little asshole. I did greet him. Let me see if I can find that one. Yes, I'm a super fan. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. That's what he said. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. And he's wearing that same hat. Oh, but you know what? This guy had been outside in the sun for so long, his nose is actually peeling. I felt really bad for him, but his nose was peeling. Now, where we're standing, he was right on the corner where that statue of Queen Victoria is actually behind us. If you look above his head, you can just kind of see that statue of Queen Victoria. the statue of Queen Victoria at Windsor Castle. Oh, there it is. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'm very good when it comes to geography and directions and stuff. If I go someplace in my mind's eye, I could literally walk through it in my head. Okay. So there it is. So Windsor Castle on the left, and then there's shops on the right side. And we were right there on that very corner where you turn the corner to go down this road here. That's where we were standing. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. He sounds funny though when he talks. Yes, I'm a royal supporter. He should do voiceovers for cartoons. So yes, that happened today. Now, Carole Middleton is going to be on somebody's list if she's not careful. She is going to find herself on somebody's list because Kate's mama has overstepped the mark. You see there, Carole Middleton power move is that Cheltenham Festival in daughter Princess Kate's hat and $50,000 Hermes bag. Where in the world did she get $50,000 to buy herself a nice purse? I didn't think she had $50,000 to spare. Unless their pharmaceutical salesperson relative bought it for her. Unless he, ripped it out of somebody's arms for pharmaceuticals or whatever. Royal Ladies Day Out. Carole Middleton joins Queen Consort. They keep forgetting consort. Queen Consort and Princess Anne at Cheltenham and doesn't know where to look as the Tyndalls enjoy a cheeky kiss. She doesn't know where to look as the Tyndalls enjoy a cheeky kiss. Okay. I can't even see that. That's too small. Hold on. A couple put on a very loved up display. Yeah, who cares about that? Carole and Zara were twinning in nearly identical gray coats as Zara finished her ladies' day outfit with a burgundy blouse, etc., etc. Okay, now here we go. Camilla does not look pleased that peasant is in the royal box. What is that peasant, daughter of Kate, who Camilla can't stand? Why is she here? Why is she here, Ike? Why is she here, Ike? And laughing and grinning and having a good time like she belonged there. She ain't royal. Princess Anne is royal. Camilla's royal. And maybe those other people have some titles. But why is, her arch nemesis, why is her arch nemesis mother there? Look at that. Now, when Camilla has that look, that something is about to get leaked. When Camilla has that look, you know what comes next. Hello? Is this the Daily Mail? Senior Royal here. Hello. I said Senior Royal here. I have some juicy gossip. Hello. You're going to want this. Hello. Senior Royal here. So if I was Kate's mama, which of course I'm not, I don't think I'm flexible enough. But if I was Kate's mama, I would. Number one, I'm not flexible enough. And number two, I don't drink enough. But if I was Kate's mama, I would leave now before Camilla really gets upset. Because I do not think that her presence is wanted nor appreciated. Yep, Camilla is already calculating with that bird nest on her head. She's already calculating how she's going to deal with this one. Because you rarely ever see them together. When have you ever seen Camilla having a word with Carole Middleton? I don't think I've ever seen it before. If anybody is going to be a lead social climber, it's got to be Camilla. There's only room for so many social climbers at one event. And that does not include Carole, the air hostess, Middleton. And where are we at here? And if you notice, to add insult to injury, I don't know if she was trying to mock anybody or not, but she's wearing her daughter's hat. She's actually wearing her daughter's hat to the event. Almost like saying she's not here, but she's here at the same time. Who knows what Carole was up to? But you know, Carole Middleton often wears her daughter's clothes and vice versa. Like, for instance, that pink dress that she wore that time. Look at there. Carole Middleton proves she's truly in royal inner circle on Ladies' Day Out with Anne and Camilla. Oh my goodness, they're all about the same age, aren't they? Carole, Camilla, and Anne joined thousands of revelers at the Gloucestershire racecourse to celebrate the return of Ladies' Day, and the trio quickly got stuck into action along with Zara Tindall on day 2 of the greatest show on earth. The ladies of the royal family were out in full force. Okay, now there are some members of the royal family there, but that does not include Carole. Let me see. I know. Why is she here, Ike? Why is she here? I love that photo with her hands on her hip. Look at her plotting and scheming. Scheming and plotting and scheming. And, nothing says love to your daughter like giving her a matching air hostess uniform. Is that something that Carole used to wear when she was flying the friendly skies? I promise you that looks just like something. And what a awful dress to wear. That is just the cheapest looking thing. Cheap. Cheap. I've never seen even Princess Anne dress better than that. Cheap. Oh my God. That looks like a Kmart blue light special. It's like a house dress, isn't it? That is something that a governess would wear. I don't care if you put a fancier on or not. That is a governess uniform. And like mother, like daughter. Oh, don't forget to show your knees. Honey, on your way out, make sure you show your knees. They have that in common where they have to show their knees. Oh, what a those are two tacky broads right there. Both of them tacky. Tacky, tacky, tacky. Upper crust critics sneer at Council House Carole Middleton. Council House Carole. I love that. Council House Carole. Council House Carole Middleton's tarmac driveway and how she said toilet and pardon, but the kitchen disco dancing granny saw off the snobs, so she's turned 70, is a title for Kate and Will's rock family in the cards. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. They refer to the Middletons as their rock, not Will and Kate, but that's what the press has been trying to push on people is that they deserve a title. Of all the absurd portrayals in Netflix multi-million dollar, million pound series The Crown, Carole Middleton's must be up there with the sleaziest and cruelest. I don't know. I thought the depiction was bang on. Didn't you guys? I thought it was a perfect depiction of Council House. I thought it was a perfect depiction of Council House Carole. Didn't you? I thought it was perfect. If anybody's ever created a characterization, Council House Carole was perfect. And look at the way she's pushing that trolley down the aisle of the 747, being very careful to put a couple of those cocktail bottles in her purse. They call her Council House Carole. Bum, 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 bum. Council House Carole. Dun, 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 dun. You know, they should have like a TV series about a mother who's anxious to get her daughter into the royal family. And they should name that series Council House Carole. About a desperate mom who's had dreams of the aristocracy. And so one day she was sitting there stuffing some of those cocktail bottles in her purse whilst flying across the ocean when she realized that the future king is dumb as a box of rocks. And from there, she hatched her plan to marry off her equally dim-witted daughter to the heir to the throne. And that is the story of Council House Carole. Yes, I think they should have a sitcom. They call her Council House Carole. She flies straight as an arrow, even though she's drunk as a skunk. Okay, that song is starting to fall apart on me. Anyway, that's the story of Council House Carole. Her rise from pushing a trolley down. You know, seriously though, the reason why Carole Middleton is so anxious to get her daughter on the throne, bypassing, a tradition of staying on the throne until you die. She don't have time for that. Charles might live too long, and who knows what she's done to her liver. She may not have much time. So she needs to hurry up and get her daughter on that throne, lest she should not live to see it herself. Um, I'm sure her liver is fine. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So she wants her daughter to be queen consort as soon as possible, not because she's anxious to see her daughter on the throne, but during the coronation, Carole Middleton is going to push her little cocktail cart up and down the aisles of Westminster Abbey so she can recoup some of that money that she spent getting her daughter married to that dim-witted uh, William. That's what it is. She will be at the coronation, of course, but she's also going to sell cocktails so that she can recover some of the cost of getting that child in the family in the first place. Let me see. Harlan Baker said, "Did you see Willie Leaks' Wall Street Journal article trashing Harry?" No. Is that a new article? I did not see that. Thank you for the super chat. No, I did not. I was too busy thinking about Council House Carol. Prince William, Wall Street Journal. Let me see. Now, you know, the Wall Street Journal has become a bit of a tabloid. So you really do have to take that with a grain of salt, whatever they report, because I believe they're owned by the Murdochs now. Oh, I see the article. And this is a new article? Yeah, I guess it is. Says a day ago. Wow. And it's behind the paywall. But, you know, we know how to handle that. They call her Council House Carol. Womp, 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 womp. Council House Carol. They call her Council House Carol. Bump, womp, womp, womp. Carole Middleton. I'm sorry, Middleton's at war, should I say. Now Uncle Gary wades into back Carole. He defends sister as cousin calls her a snob who's grander than the queen. And look at old Council House Carol there on the right side. Kate Middleton's cousin, Joanne Collin, blasts Carole Middleton for being a social climber and a fame whore. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? That's a bit harsh. The other thing that she and her daughter have in common, not only do they love to wear each other's clothes, also they love to make weird faces. I don't know if that tick runs in the family or not, but I think that the Middleton women have a bit of a facial tick. See how her face is ticking? Yeah, they both like to make weird faces. Carol makes weird faces. Mumbles makes weird faces. They make weird faces. That's what they do. They make weird faces. You're sitting there talking to them, then all of a sudden they start, looking weird. I mean, it's okay. Listen. Oh. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, we all God's children. See there? Sometimes they just make these faces. You're sitting there talking to them, and then next thing you know, Carole Middleton started doing that. or that. I wonder how often she does that. Or is that her resting um council house space? Do you think that that comes from living in council housing? Okay, listen, you guys, I'm just having fun. I got to stop. I got to stop. I don't know if that comes from council housing or not. But anyway, cheers to mother and daughter. You guys have pulled it off. You have married into the royal family, and you'll never have to worry about money again. Nobody's ever going to put you back in council housing. Mother and daughter. See what I mean? Like mother, like daughter. Mama looked like she worked in one of them houses. Kate looked like she works in one of them houses. Mother and daughter. Look at there. There's Carole Middleton with King Charles. I remember the last time that she was in the royal box. I believe this was at the Royal Ascot? Now Camilla's nowhere around, which is good for her because, like I said, I don't think Camilla cottons too well to having her in the vicinity. But and of course, because Carol's rising celebrity, it appears as though she has her own Madame Tussauds. You see there? She has her own likeness down at Madame Tussauds. Looks so realistic, doesn't she? Yes, council housing is kind of like Section 8. Yep. I think with council housing they give you like what, a 99-year lease or something like that. You can pass it on to your children or your spouse. I think that's how it works. But yeah, it's a form of like public housing. You know, it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, council housing, what's great about council housing is it's not really for poor people. It is to make sure, as I understand it, is to make sure that you have affordable housing. You see, I learned not long ago that, in the United States, we have public housing or housing projects. The purpose of it was never really for poor people. It did not start off for poor. The publicly assisted housing is like a security blanket. It is a hand up, not a handout. It is to make sure that you have decent, affordable housing, usually in areas where there is a permanent underclass that cannot afford traditional um, housing situations. So it's for people who find it difficult to get on the housing ladder. So having council housing, public housing of any sort, it is not because you don't work or because you're poor or whatever. It is for working class people, but it's to make sure that you have affordable housing. That's all. In New York, it's affordable housing. It's not really meant for poor people. But over time, that's exactly what happened is they, would put families that are struggling in a situation where it was really meant for security for families. Which I know it sounds weird, but like I said, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. But that's what it was. It was for families, working class families. What's that? They still don't they overcharge the citizens anyway. If there's any way that the landlord can get more money, they will. They will. All of these things start off with good intentions, but by the time it's executed, it rarely looks like what it was supposed to. So I applaud people for trying to provide affordable housing, but sometimes it just does not work out the way that they plan. Let me see. In the UK, you can buy the council housing to get on the property ladder. Yeah, we actually have programs like that here as well, where people that live in public housing, they will actually get you set up to buy a house. It may not necessarily be the one that you're living in. In all likelihood, it will not be that property, but they do have programs for first time buyers where you can get a grant, a substantial grant that you don't have to pay back, but you do have to live at that property for a while. So yeah, we have a very similar thing here where there are people who go from assisted housing, public housing to home ownership, um, which of course, in so many instances, the money that is set aside for that is not even used because a lot of people may not be able to make it over the thresh or through the threshold to the housing, but it is available and some people do take advantage of it. I mean, there's so many programs that are available, and you often hear like uh, community people, people in the community, they'll say, we have this grant, we have this funding, we need to, use this money, or otherwise it's going to go back to Washington. And unfortunately, that happens a lot. There's so many programs that can help people that nobody takes advantage of it. Or in some cases, you'll have a particular ethnic group that, let's say, if there's a new building that's constructed, you'll find that a particular ethnic group has moved into that building, whether they're from Eastern Europe, whether they're from Africa, whether they're from the Caribbean, um, Latino, because of word of mouth, they're like, hey, because they don't always advertise. They don't always advertise. There's a lot of low income housing around Chicago that people don't even apply for it. And the thing is, when the local what I'll just say, let's say you want to build an apartment building in New York, you want to build an apartment building in Chicago, Los Angeles, any of the big cities, and even some small towns, the government will give them a tax break, right? Or they will let them exceed the zoning, but you must provide low income housing, right? Not free housing, low income housing, affordable housing. So there's low income and there's affordable. They're not the same thing. Low income is exactly that, and affordable means that it's below the market rate. So you can have a high rise building in Chicago or New York. And let's say some neighbors are paying $5,000 a month, but the affordable place is $3,500 a month. Still a lot of money. And that unit must remain affordable. That's the thing is they call it mixed income communities, where you have low income, affordable, and market rate people living in the same property. It's all so complicated. Anyway, I'm almost done here, so I'm not going to overwhelm you guys with all that stuff, but it is fascinating what's available out there. And it's also fascinating how many people do not take advantage of it. Oh yeah, Habitat for the Homeless, right? Yeah, I didn't like Ronald Reagan. I did not like Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was the devil as far as I'm concerned. What an awful person. That's like the governor of Texas. Do you know the governor of Texas was, made handicapped somehow, and the law that protected him, that made it able for him to receive compensation for his accident. Do you know that they say that when he became governor, one of the first things he did was to take away that law so that nobody else can benefit from it? That's a Republican. That is what Republicans do. Republicans will benefit from something, and then as soon as they get the opportunity, they'll make sure that nobody else benefits from it again. Carol, Carol, admitting you have a problem is the first step. Admitting that you have a problem is the first step. One must get in touch with one's inner feelings. Otherwise, all one has left is gin and regrets. The smell of gin and regret. Carol, Carol, put it down. Put it down, Carol, put it down. Oh, allegedly. It's okay to protest at, I'm sorry, is it okay to protest at royal events? Senior royals have met for the first time since Andrew's arrest, but they were hounded by protesters. Lip reader claimed Prince William said I had enough of hearing his name. Do you feel sorry for the royals? Not at all. Especially if they spent all that time um, leaking and briefing against the Sussexes. Of course, I don't feel sorry for them. Of course, I don't feel sorry for them. I don't have a problem. I can stop any damn time I want to. What is wrong with me today? What is wrong with me? Arrogant, shocking claim about William, that is, emerges. You know what? I tried to open up this article and I couldn't open it. It is from Australian news or whatever. I could not open that article. I'm going to try it again, but I could not seem to open it. So, and I had the link and everything, but it just said that I could not see it. Also, asking ye shall receive. I was asking about Prince Edward, and it says here Prince Edward forced to pull out of event with King Charles due to health reasons. However, he looks like the picture of health right here. So I don't know. Maybe he just didn't want to be seen with his family. Maybe he thought somebody was going to yell peppercorn rent, peppercorn rent. So he just didn't show up. Maybe it's something wrong. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Oh no. Eamon Holmes sparked concern after falling asleep and slurring live on GB News as worried fans gasp. He's obviously struggling and needs medical assistance. I don't know. I wonder if he's got the same thing that Carole Middleton has. Maybe that's what's wrong with him. You think so? You think he's got a case of Council House Carole? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's suffering from maybe he's suffering from Council House Carole. I don't know. I don't like to judge. I'm just kidding. I love to judge those people. I don't like to judge, but maybe he's suffering from Council House Carole. Let's see. Resistus consistus. Baron, you may have been originally blocked from viewing the article. Try using a VPN and set country to Australia. Oh, well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And I had a VPN for a while, but I think I got rid of it. At least I hope I'm not still paying for that thing. But yeah, I had one for a while, but I do believe I got rid of it. Oh, yes, 43 months membership. I rang the bell and forgot to say it. 43 months membership. Thank you so much. Anyway, that's it for now, you guys. I am going to take off, but I'll be back later, much later, but I will be back later with some more stuff for you. So do enjoy your afternoon, your morning, or your evening. You know, if you need to relax, just pour yourself a glass of Council House Carole, and you'll be okay. They call her Council House Carole. Womp 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 womp. Council House Carole. Why do I picture her doing a shimmy? They call her Council House Carole. Womp 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 womp. You know, with that feather boa. Council House Carole. Oh man, I'm never going to look at her the same way. Here she comes. Here comes Council House Carole. I can't stop thinking about it. Okay. Anyway, cheers, you guys. I will see you all later. And if you guys are living in the greater London area, be careful, because there are two desperate members of the British royal family racing all over London trying to look busy, and you don't want to get in their way. They will run you over. They have to save the monarchy. Okay? Okay, love you guys. I'll see you later.